Alright, this is a game in the FV215b, the Tier 10 British heavy tank on, I forget the name of this map already, Sacred Valley. Thank you. And this is in the encounter mode, so the west spawn spawns close to that northwest passage, and so what we're going to do is we're going to be in a position where we can basically protect them from getting into a position of cover. The sort of west spawn has the advantage on this map, in my opinion, because you can't control that level of terrain. So 215b is a really good gun on a somewhat decent platform. It's sort of a rear-mounted turret, but it's got pretty reasonable DPM and really good gun handling. So we're going to try to take advantage of that. And so what we want to be able to do is most people go over to this B line over here. You want to be able to play through this C line over here and prevent them from getting across for free. You know, at least pressure them and make sure that they know that if they try to cross there, that they're potentially going to get shot. And so usually I like having some eyes up here, so if I'm in a medium tank, I'll go up here.
It's a trap!
So I've already been shot and missed and been lit. And then you'll see that most of our team is going over to that B line over there. Well, that's fine. It's just me and a Tiger 2 over here. That's alright. Even though this Tiger 2, I don't think it's fired a shot yet. Oh, there's an E75 here as well. And so, but that E75, see how all of our team is converging on one line right here? So we've got 8 or 9 tanks in basically one square right there. 1 square's worth of space. So what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to move through the flank side. They have a lot of their guys in the center area here, right? We got a T-32 that's moving through the middle. So what we want to be able to do is move over to a flanking side over here where we can potentially support the T-32 and or...
It's a trap!
Get around to the flanks of this sort of C-line tanks that they have over there. So then we know that they have a waffle in the middle there. We're somewhat exposed. There's going to be a hill over there, but other than that, there's not a whole lot. He's also used the 15-centimeter gun. He's fired at least 3 shots, which suggests that he might be reloading. And he's probably just going to sit behind that hill. But our T-32 is getting pressured over here from these Tier 10s, so we're going to try to get into a position where we can support them. We didn't send anybody to this south area over here, to the southeast area, and that's entirely fine. It's actually really not that strategically important of a map because the cap area is down in a bowl. It's very easy as long as you have lights to shoot down into it. There is a rock in there that they can hide behind, but it's also very easy to navigate around. So we know that they have an IS-7 right over there, and he was able to spot me. We loaded HE for the waffle. Waffle's backing up. He's going to be out of our range before we can reload. The IS-7 shot us in the side. The E4 just shot, which is going to allow us to get an easy shot into the rear. We still have HE loaded because of the waffle. But firing through the rear, the E4 is fine. And you remember, you can sit behind an E4 because it doesn't have a complete turret. And we know that the waffle has a 15 centimeter, so we want to be careful about how we do this particular approach. But we want to start putting pressure through this side, right? Our guys have sort of stalled out against a somewhat inferior force on that side, and we want to be able to be sure that we continue to apply pressure through this sort of E-line area here, so that these guys find it more difficult. And so the rest of their team is presumably over on this south area, the IS-3, M103, and the rest of their guys. The only thing that we know is still over in that northeast is the Foch, who's not in the most fantastic of places, but that's fine. And so they do have a 4502b here, which is somewhat unexpected, but such things happen. And so we want to, again, get in a position where we can put pressure from a side that our team isn't already on. And then don't forget that, particularly for the 4502b, they buffed the lower and upper glacis of the tank, but you can still shoot through the turret pretty easily unless you hit the right point of it, like I just did. The first shot that I sent went right next through. Did damage right next to the gun mantlet. That shot in particularly hit him a little bit too low. All I was trying to do right there is just try to track him, prevent him from getting away with the T-62. I'm giving him a very slight angle on my armor should he want to try to shoot it underneath that house. And so we know that the rest of their guys, the Foch is still alive over there somehow. Our team did not do too much pressure, did not put too much pressure on them. They got a couple guys back there, and then the artillery. But this game is pretty much over, and so you'll notice that we got a lot of good shots through this sort of mill area. I mean, we've done 4K damage in a tank that doesn't really have very much armor by pressing onto a flank that allowed us to get shots onto the sides of things, into the rears of things, right? We got shots into the side of the waffle, into the rear of the E4. And that's really what you're looking for, particularly in a tank with a good gun, but not so good of a platform. You want to look for areas where you have a distinct advantage. And so their IS-7 is basically hiding now. That 103 is behind that little rock. And apparently their artillery was also in that northeast area. And so now it's just a matter of mop-up. And so that's one of the things that I've said previously on this map is that, you know, the north area of this map is, along with the middle, is really the most important part of the map. The south area, it doesn't really matter whether you win it or lose it. And what really matters is how well you do on that sort of north or center side and how aggressive you are in playing it. And this is a problem with rear-mounted tanks, particularly when looking over a hill like this. It's somewhat difficult to play it. And there's a lot of bobbing and weaving, but and we're able to just mop them up. And so we sent a lot of guys through this B line, right? But having that T-32 in the middle and then me moving down into that middle made a large difference for their guys who are in the middle, right? Their E4 and their waffle didn't have free shots. They also had let's see, the JPE was right there, which we potentially had shots on, but I think we bounced off over the side of them. And so I really think that particularly once you know that you can control this side and you prevent them from getting to the north for free, or at least, you know, make them think twice about it, it becomes easier to move around to the flank and get around to a side where you can just start putting pressure from there. And so if we look at the stats, so as I was saying, it's a really good gun on a somewhat sketchy platform. It's a decent platform. It's not a horrible one. They are replacing this tank with the Chieftain, which is unfortunate, but it happens. So we're able to do 6K damage basically by a lot of it was just through side shots on people. You know, getting shots on by moving through flanks and supporting through where that T-32 was. So a lot of that is what you're looking for in a game like this. And we were also able to do some damage onto tech for the same reason, because we were moving through the middle and the guys on the other lines were able to shoot at things that we were lighting up through that middle area, which is, again, the power of flanking. So even in tanks that aren't necessarily really fast, you know, they're not medium or light tanks, you can still do flanking maneuvers and have them be highly effective. And that's really what we did in this particular game. Anyhow, so I hope that was useful for the FV215b. I actually think that is a pretty good tank. I enjoy playing it, and I'm going to be sad that it'll be gone, but such is life. And thanks for watching.